Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to jump into one of the 10 C's of survival. We're going to talk about combustion. So we're excited about it. Let's jump in. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So as I said, we are going to jump in today and look at some options for combustion, or in other words, what are some options for starting fires. Let's go ahead and jump in with this first one. It is a little kit that I bought for fire starting. This is the weatherproof fire starting kit by Epiphany Outdoor Gear. So this little kit I really like. It's got some different capabilities. So these are little wax infused kind of cotton tender or fuses, as they call them. As you can imagine, one of the things we're going to show through several of these options is that anything that has kind of another substance, wax, alcohol things within them is going to have a better fire burning option. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out my handy dandy pocket tool here, or my multi-tool, cut off a little piece. That way I can just use just a little piece of it to show you, give you an example of how well this works. So you'll notice I've got my little handy EDC tool. This is my everyday carry kind of little multi-tool that I always like to carry in my pocket or my EDC gear. This is the Leatherman Squirt. I love this little multi-tool. It's a great little handy device to have in my pocket all the time. So as we go into showing, just like you would with most of these we're going to get into a little bit today, you're going to pull this apart because you want to be able to open it up, give it some oxygen, create enough surface area for the sparks to be able to catch. So just like we'll show you with some of the other things, cotton balls and other stuff, you want to make sure that you've got lots of surface area for the sparks to be able to start that fire. And then the wax that's inside here, as it's a little sticky, as you'll kind of see here, so the wax is going to help keep it burning a little bit longer, give you an option to get it started faster. So the little ferrocerium rod is nice to have here. That also comes in the kit. This again gives you a nice little magnesium quick light with the spark. You saw how quickly it lit up, and then you've got this option also with the little bellows that comes in it. Now for this particular use, it's not really functional for a bellows because you're really going to use that more when you've got kind of a coal bed, something you want to start putting some oxygen into to start the fire going a little bit stronger, not necessarily just when you're getting the fire started like this. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the next one, and that is our wet fire. So these come in a nice little sealed package here, and the wet fire is a specific tool that it comes in handy when you're trying to start a fire with a wet environment. It's very difficult to get it started, to dry some of that tinder out and things. So this one really comes in handy to be able to dry out your tinder as the fire starts. You'll see as it lights, it's got a nice strong flame, and this cube will last for anywhere from about 6 to 10 minutes, burning a nice strong hot flame that will actually dry out your tinder, allowing you to get the fire started. Then you can build around it, kind of get your tinder starting to dry out and your logs and things around it to dry out as you start building your fire bigger and bigger. So this one's a really handy one. I don't want to go ahead and use all of this, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of snuff it out here with the can. But I love this one especially. I'll take this one, throw it in my backpack. I've got it in my 72-hour kits. This one's just a handy one to have just because of how functional it is and how nice it is. So you'll see this little piece here. Again, you don't have to use the whole cube. You might be able to just start a little piece of it depending on, again, how much you're needing for that particular situation. Okay, so as you can see here, one of our next ones is hand sanitizer. So all of us today, especially in our current environment, are carrying around hand sanitizer with us, either in our vehicle or a bag, our purse, whatnot. So hand sanitizer, because of the alcohol content in it, is a very handy backup fire starter. So it kind of burns the alcohol out of this hand sanitizer, and so it's difficult to see in the daytime to see the flame. But it is actually a nice light blue flame that you can see and burns the alcohol out of that to start a fire. So if I grab a twig here, let's see if we can show you. So again, even though you can't see the flame in the hand sanitizer, you see it's burning the twig. So this one's a very handy one that, again, a lot of us have this in our bags and our backpacks already today. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pull my ferrocerium rod back out of this kit here, and we're going to look at dryer lint as an option. Just like cotton balls or some of the other things that we're going to talk about, you want to pull it apart so you create that surface area for the sparks to be able to catch. But dryer lint, especially cotton-based dryer lint, right, when you're washing or drying towels or those kind of things, will catch very quickly with a spark and becomes a great source for a backup fire starter. So we'll do some fun projects with dryer lint and egg cartons where we build our own little fire starters, just kind of like the cubes. Now as we transition into the next one, we're going to take a look at steel wool and a battery, our 9-volt battery in particular in this option. So I'm creating a little bundle here. The steel wool's in the middle of some dryer lint again. And then the 9-volt battery is really what's creating a current by using the steel wool to connect the positive and negative. And you'll see it create a little spark or current between that steel. And then you'll want to use that current to start your bundle. Now whether it's dryer lint like this or some other options out in the backcountry, this one's a great one, and you don't have to use a 9-volt battery. You can actually use really any type of battery if you can create a connection between the positive and negative to create that current and that short in that battery that creates that spark in the steel wool. Alright, so the next one we're going to actually take a quick look here as we transition over to the next two. These two are cotton balls. So the first one I'm going to work on here, this is actually just a plain piece of cotton or cotton ball. Again, we're going to spread it out, give it plenty of surface area, but as you'll see here, the cotton itself catches fire pretty quickly, burns pretty well, and gives you a decent little fire. And cotton, again, just as a natural material, does a great job. Now the difference is here, I'm going to go ahead and use this cotton ball, and this one's one that I made with petroleum jelly or Vaseline. And as you'll watch, you'll see it catch fire, but notice how the flame lasts a lot longer. You'll notice it doesn't burn up quite as quickly, and that's because of the petroleum jelly that's in it. So instead of burning up the cotton, it'll actually burn the petroleum jelly within the cotton first, but allows it to last a lot longer, as you'll see here. And that's one of the benefits of this, because now this gives you a great fire starter, again, even in a wet environment, because you see how much longer this flame lasts and how much stronger it appears to be. So it gives you a great option for a nice long burn that you can put in this little straw, and we're going to show you actually as one of the videos, future videos, we'll show you how to build this little kit with the straw. Alright, so the next one we're going to take a look at is char cloth, and this can be made from either a cotton or linen type of cloth, and we'll actually go through, we'll do a video and show you how we made this char cloth, but it ignites with a really low temperature, so it can ignite with just a spark again, and you would usually use this again in your nest or your bundle to start your fire, not necessarily the flame. So, but again, we're going to do some fun stuff with this. We'll show you how to make these as well. Alright, the last one we're going to transition into here is actually a natural material. This one's a cattail, which I found on a hike going through Epiphany Canyon. So this is a natural one that's actually the seeds from a cattail plant. Depending on your environment, right? You want to be looking for what are some of those natural materials around you that you can use for starting fires for combustion options. And this one's just like a cotton. This cattail material catches fire fairly easily. You'll want to spread it out just like cotton, but it's neat to see how it starts just almost like a gasoline. I mean, it literally ignites really quickly, really easily with just a simple spark. And this is something that can be found in a lot of different environments. You can use it to be able to, again, create inside your bundle. You wouldn't want to use this as just starting your fire itself, but you would normally use this to start your actual nest or your bundle that actually starts your flame or your fire itself. So many of these are not to start the entire fire in some cases, but they're really to start your fire bundle. As you get your fire going, you want to be able to have those materials available for you. So as we get into, again, several different options, as we'll talk about combustion, we'll do some other videos about how can we create some of these things within our own prep tools, whether we have these kits, whether we have other options like this one I'm going to show you again. This is that cotton and petroleum jelly filled cotton ball. And this one's a great one. Again, it becomes very handy. I love this one because of the size, the weight. I can throw this in my day pack. I can throw it in a bug out bag. I can take several of these with me backpacking when I'm camping just because it comes in very handy. As you can see, I can pull it from the straw with petroleum jelly inside of it, open up the cotton ball, and this one is probably one of my favorites just because it's simple. I can buy cotton balls from the store. I can buy hundreds of cotton balls. I can buy a big old jar of petroleum jelly and make lots of these to put in, whether it be my backpacks, whether it be my bug out bags, whether it be my 72-hour kits. I can create lots of these very quickly, and I can pick up straws right from anywhere. I can pick up a straw from any fast food restaurant, grab an extra straw and use those. And again, we're going to show you guys how to make these, but this is probably one of my favorites just because of how versatile it is, how light it is, and the flame, as you can see, creates a nice strong flame that allows me to be able to build a fire quickly. And in an emergency or a survival situation, that really comes in handy because one of your top priorities is to be able to build a fire. Because a fire can do lots of things. It can create warmth, it can actually purify water, you can use it to build tools. So fire is a very versatile tool and a key aspect of any survival or emergency situation, or just out having fun, right? Again, unless you have fire restrictions in your area based on the time you're out and about with your family, the fire is a great place to gather your family around and be able to have some conversation, have some fun. The fire is kind of your outdoor TV, as you would say. And so the option for combustion is a key thing for any type of situation, the ability to build fires. So we're going to go into a couple other options and we'll look at some possibilities, and then we're going to go future videos actually get into lots of these kits and or possibilities of how you can build quick fire starters, option for when you're out backpacking, safety, all those kind of things. And that's what we're excited about doing as well, some of those fun projects with you guys. So as we transition to the last piece of this, really the key with any combustion option is what's the material you're going to use. What's flammable? What are some options? So like this one, I've got some dryer lint again and just some leftover pieces of the egg carton cardboard that's actually, it's got the wax and the paraffin lamp oil that's infused into it when I built my little blocks. And so these are little blocks that we're going to show you guys how to build. And these are great, similar to the wet fire. They're great for starting in wet environments. Now you're going to have the wax and the dryer lint inside, so it's not going to start with a spark quite the same, but these are awesome little fire starters and or fuel blocks if you need them for cooking and other options. So the materials, again, are going to be key to anything, right? Can it catch by a spark, or you're going to have to use another source to be able to light it. So again, we're excited to have you guys as part of the channel, so please hit that thumbs up, hit that like button, hit the subscribe. We'd love to have you join us for some of the future videos about combustion and or the other 10 C's of survival as we look at how we're going to plan, how we prepare, and then how we can use those things to go out and practice and have some fun. Look forward to having you join us for the upcoming and future videos.